It's been a while, but I'm back. And what we're going to do today is continue the discussion on Lewy body dementia or dementia with Lewy bodies. Now, remember that I'm getting this information from the National Institutes of Health. It's National Institute on Aging. So let's just recap what Lewy body dementia is. Lewy bodies are proteins that deposit themselves on the brain. And those deposits in turn cause dementia. Lewy body dementia looks a little bit different from Alzheimer's, primarily in the area of movement and sleep. So let's just talk about movement today, and then we'll move on to for the next episode and talk about the sleep aspect of Lewy body dementia. Some people with Lewy body dementia experience significant movement problems for several years, and others may have them early on or later in the process. At first, the movement symptoms such as changes in handwriting may be mild. You may attribute it to something like arthritis or, general stiffness. And so those symptoms can be overlooked very easily. There are also what are called Parkinsonian symptoms. Parkinson's disease deals with movement disturbances. And those Parkinson-like symptoms are seen early on in Parkinson's disease, but they can develop later in Lewy body dementia. So a person with Parkinson's disease will display these symptoms from beginning to end. So a person with Parkinson's is not necessarily going to get Lewy body dementia. Parkinson's does not cause Lewy body dementia. On the other hand, someone with Lewy body dementia, because of the kind of progression, that person can develop Parkinson's-like symptoms. So some of these specific symptoms include muscle stiffness or rigid muscles. So if you were to try to move the arm or leg of someone with Lewy body dementia, their legs and arms would be stiff. It would almost be like you were trying to turn a cork wheel to get their arms or legs to move. They experience a shuffling walk or slow movement, or what's called a frozen stance, and that is exactly as it sounds. The person with Lewy body dementia could get to a threshold or a step, and they would not be able to make a step up. They would just stand there and look, and that's part of the disease. So another aspect of Lewy body dementia and the Parkinson's-like symptoms, another aspect is having tremors or shaking of the hands, legs, or feet when they are at rest. Not when they're walking, but when they're at rest. There are balance problems and repeated falls. Part of this happens is because of the shuffling walk, and also because a person with Lewy body dementia who has these Parkinsonian symptoms will, over time, their arms and legs won't move the way our arms and legs are supposed to move alternately when we walk. They will start to walk with their hands and arms just straight all the time. Now, I've learned this in learning about Lewy body dementia and movement, but your arms, when they sway back and forth when you're walking, that helps you to maintain balance. So if a person with Lewy body dementia doesn't have that balance, it can cause repeated falls in addition to the shuffled walking. A person with Lewy body dementia might have a stooped posture, slumped over like this as they're walking. They will experience a loss of coordination. That can present itself in difficulty with getting dressed. So they will have difficulty, like for example, my loved one who has Lewy body dementia needs help putting their arm through sleeves, or pulling pants legs, pulling the pants on, or lifting the foot to put the foot into a shoe. Their handwriting becomes very small and it looks like scribbling or chicken scratch. you will see that the person with Lewy body dementia has reduced facial expression, sort of like a flat look on their face as they talk. And they also may have vocal disturbances, shaking voices, or a really quiet tone, whereas the person may have had a big voice in the past. Now they're very, very, very soft spoken. But the one of the other things that you will notice, like if you have a loved one with Lewy body dementia, they will have difficulty getting into and out of bed, or in or out of any kind of seated position. They may sort of just flop themselves onto the bed and not be able to get their legs onto the bed, or they'll just kind of fall onto a sofa and just sit in this position the whole time, kind of slanted over. Another problem can be difficulty swallowing, and I think I mentioned this before, but that swallowing difficulty can cause pneumonia if the food goes into the lungs instead of down the throat. Now, all of these different symptoms, these Parkinsonian symptoms, can be managed or treated with occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy. Those things can improve the skills, but just keep in mind, they're not going to be a cure. They're going to be there to provide better quality of life and to prevent accidents. So the next time we get together, we're going to talk about Lewy body dementia and sleep problems. Talk to you later.